It's past midnight and I'm doing the math, adding up the days subtracted from my past. Some numbers don't add up the way I plan, but I keep the pencil moving with a steady hand. Brewed some coffee, let it cool down on the sill. Watch the city breathe beneath the windowsill. Every light out there belongs to someone's night. Every night belongs to someone getting it right. I used to rush the answers before I read the page. Now I take the problem slowly at a different age. Midnight arithmetic is harder than it sounds when the questions keep on changing and the answer never rounds. But I put the numbers down and let the music play. Some things only make sense at the end of the day. Upright bass is walking somewhere I can follow, and the trumpet saying something about tomorrow. Midnight arithmetic, adding what I've lost and gained. Midnight arithmetic, some equations can't be explained. Just let the music do the math tonight. Just let the groove carry what I can't quite write. Midnight arithmetic, and somehow it always comes out right. Comes out right. Pages on the table full of crossed out lines, trying to make sense of all the could-have-beens and signs. Some nights the answer hides behind the question mark, and you just gotta sit with it out there in the dark. Poured another cup and let the record breathe. Saxophone came in like something you believe, not because it's perfect, but because it's true that imperfect sounds can carry something through. I stopped expecting clarity at this hour. Let the melody do what logic lost its power. Jazz don't need an answer, just a willing ear, and willingness is something I can always spare. The numbers blur a little when the music swells, and suddenly the math don't matter and everything else falls into something softer, something I can hold, something warm enough to get me through the cold. Midnight arithmetic, adding what I've lost and gained. Midnight arithmetic, some equations can't be explained. Just let the music do the math tonight. Just let the groove carry what I can't quite write. Midnight arithmetic, and somehow it always comes out right. Maybe I don't need the answer by the morning light. Maybe midnight arithmetic is just what tonight's about. Sitting with the question till it doesn't feel so tight. Letting go of what I thought I needed to figure out. The bass keeps walking somewhere I can follow along, and I'll figure out the rest when I wake up to a song. Midnight arithmetic, let it breathe, let it go. Let the music know what the numbers don't show. Lost track of the time, somewhere half past something. Clocks on every wall, but none of them meaning much. The hour don't define me like it used to, when every minute felt like something I had to clutch. Bass is walking somewhere steady out the speakers. Gonna follow it a while, see where it leads. Half past something feels exactly like the right time to let go of all the things I thought I need. Been keeping score on things that don't need numbers. Been timing every feeling with a watch. Half past something's when I finally drop it, when I stop and let the music take the notch. Trumpet coming in like something half remembered, like a face you know but can't place the name. Half past something every single evening, everything familiar, never quite the same. Half past something, that's where I live. Half past something, that's all I give to the clock that keeps on calling my name. Half past something and I'm still the same, unhurried and unbothered at half past. The only time that ever seems to last. Half past something with the jazz turned up. That's enough to fill the cup. Yeah. Poured a glass of water, sat beside the window. Let the night outside do what the night does best. Half past something on a weekday evening. Everything can wait, including all the rest. Saxophone came sliding in between the changes. Found the space between the notes and made it home. Jazz knows how to live inside the spaces. That's the kind of living I prefer to own. Time has a way of pressing when you let it. Urgency can fill a room and choke the air. Half past something is my act of resistance against the clock that's always getting there. I don't need to hurry to arrive. Half past something keeps the feeling alive, alive and warm and moving at a pace I chose instead of one that I had to race. So half past something, that's where I live. Half past something, that's all I give to the clock that keeps on calling my name. Half past something and I'm still the same, unhurried and unbothered at half past. The only time that ever seems to last. Half past something with the jazz turned up. That's enough to fill the cup. Let the bass walk out the door and I'll follow slow. Half past something is the only time I know that feels exactly like I'm where I'm supposed to be. No alarm to set, no place I have to flee. Just half past something in a little room. Just a walking bass and a little jazz perfume. Half past something, still here. Half past something, no fear. Half past something feels right. Half past something, good night. Good night. Rain's been at the window since before I woke up, talking in that language that it knows. Doesn't ask for anything, just keeps the conversation going in the only way that flows. I made my coffee slower than I needed to. Put the jazz record on the good one, worn at the edges. Sat beside the window where the rain was speaking, and listened like I finally understood the messages. What the rain knows is that everything comes down eventually. What the rain knows is that patience has a sound. What the rain knows, I've been learning very slowly, that the quiet holds the wisdom I've been looking to be found. Bass came in beneath the sound of water, walking somewhere steady, somewhere calm. Piano filled the space between the raindrops, jazz and rain together like a song. What the rain knows, I'm still learning. What the rain knows, patient and returning. Every drop a lesson in arriving, every puddle proof of something thriving. What the rain knows, I'm getting there. What the rain knows, I'm almost there. I've been in a hurry about things that didn't need it, racing to conclusions in the rain. The rain don't race, it just arrives completely, falls until it's done, and then again. There's a kind of wisdom in the falling, no resistance to the going down. What the rain knows is that landing isn't losing. What the rain knows is that falling feeds the ground. Saxophone came in like a second rainfall, layered on top of the first one differently. Both saying something true about the morning, both arriving without an apology. I stayed beside the window till the rain slowed. Let the record finish, let the coffee cool. What the rain knows is that I'm still becoming, and patience is the only honest tool. What the rain knows, I'm still learning what the rain knows, patient and returning. Every drop a lesson in arriving, every puddle proof of something thriving. What the rain knows, I'm getting there. What the rain knows, I'm almost there. If I listen to the rain a little longer, I think I'd understand a little more. Not the words because the rain doesn't use them, but the feeling underneath the sound before. The words come after feeling like the lyrics come after the melody finds its groove. What the rain knows started before the language, and I'm trying to get back to that truth. What the rain knows, still falling. What the rain knows, still calling. What the rain knows, I'm listening now. What the rain knows, teach me how. Teach me how. Teach me how. Corner table back against the wall, where I can see the room and miss nothing at all. Corner table, that's my seat, where the people watching and the music meet. Nobody notices the corner table guy, which is exactly how I like it by and by. Corner table jazz playing low, best seat in the house and nobody has to know. I always take the corner when it's open, back against the wall and facing out. There's a reason corner tables hold the stories of everyone who has something to think about. Ordered something simple, watch the room begin. People coming out and people going in. Every table has a different conversation going. Every chair a different way to something showing. Jazz trio set up in the opposite corner, working through a standard slow and clean. I split my attention between the room and music, which is honestly the most alive I've ever been. She ordered coffee and he ordered water. They weren't saying much but saying everything. The couple by the window looked like history, and I was just a corner table king. Piano player caught my eye across the room, nodded like he knew what corners do, like he understood the view from the outside while still being someone in the room too. Jazz musicians know the corner table feeling. You're in it, but you're also watching it. Part of what is happening and part observer. That's exactly where I want to sit. The waiter brought me something I forgot I ordered. Distracted by the saxophone that came in late, but late on purpose like a guest who knows the party doesn't really start until they make their entrance straight. I stayed until the trio took their second break, and the room went back to just itself without the sound. Corner table held me for the whole of it, and I held everything the corner table found. Corner table back against the wall, where I can see the room and miss nothing at all. Corner table, that's my seat, where the people watching and the music meet. Best seat in the house and nobody has to know, just me and the jazz and the whole room below. Corner table, that's where I belong, right in the middle of everybody's song. Someday someone's gonna write a corner table song, a proper ballad for the people watching from the side. Until then I'll be here with the jazz and the small truths that only show themselves when you've got nowhere left to hide. Corner table, back against the wall. Corner table, seeing it all. Corner table, jazz playing low. Corner table, that's all I know.
between awake and gone, that's where the best ideas come along. Not quite asleep, not quite present, just hovering in the in-between crescent. Jazz piano found that place first, knew before the lyrics that it works. In the space between the notes and silence is where I live without defiance. Morning came in sideways through the curtains. Nothing urgent, nothing yet for certain. Just the warm, suspended kind of feeling when the day hasn't decided on its ceiling. Somewhere between awake, the mind goes gentle. Everything feels soft and non-judgmental. I've made my best decisions in that state, when I'm not quite early, not quite late. Somewhere between awake is where I want to stay. Somewhere between awake at the start of the day, before the rush decides what I should be, before the world reminds me of the fee. Somewhere between awake, that's the real me. Piano's doing something in the distance, not demanding anything persistence, just existing in the morning air, being what it is without a care. I made some tea and didn't check my phone, let the morning have a moment of its own. Somewhere between awake, it has a color warmer than the daytime, slightly fuller. Saxophone drifted in around the second cup, still not quite awake, still not quite up. But somewhere in the middle of that feeling was the most alive I'd been all week, revealing. Every morning has this small surrender, this brief and undefended kind of tender, where you haven't put your armor on quite yet, and everything feels possible and soft and set. Somewhere between awake is where I want to stay. Somewhere between awake at the start of the day, before the rush decides what I should be, before the world reminds me of the fee. Somewhere between awake, that's the real me. I'm trying to carry that space into the afternoon. That's somewhere between awake and to the rest of the day. Jazz figured out how to hold that feeling in a room. If music can do it, maybe living can find a way. Just a little of that morning space kept close is enough to change the texture of the most demanding ordinary day into something that breathes. Somewhere between awake is all a person needs. Somewhere between awake and gone. Somewhere between holding on right there. Stay a little longer right there. Just a little longer. Little bit of lemon zest, that's all it takes to make the rest come alive and taste like something. Little bit of lemon zest on everything I do my best. Even ordinary days need something. Woke up early, wasn't planning to, but the light came in, and what are you gonna do? Made some tea and squeezed a lemon in it. Found a little joy before the day could spin it. Jazz piano on while breakfast cooled. Something bright and bouncy, loose and grooved. Lemon zest on top of everything. Even the boring parts need that little zing. I used to take my mornings gray and plain. Didn't think the small things counted for the game, but a little brightness added to the bass changes how the whole thing fills the space. Piano's dancing somewhere near the window. Bass is grounding everything below. A little lemon zest and how I listen makes even the old familiar glisten. friend for coffee in the afternoon. Talked about the nothing that's in bloom. How a Tuesday feels like something special when you let the small details be essential. She said life is mostly in the details, not the big events, but all the in-betweens. I said that's exactly what the jazz knows. That's exactly what the middle of the song means. Walked home through the longer way on purpose. Wanted the detour, wanted the scenic view. A little bit of lemon zest in the direction makes the destination feel like something new. Evening came an easy golden hour light. Everything looked warm or slightly bright. I put the record on and felt the groove. Little bit of lemon zest in every move. Little bit of lemon zest, that's all it takes to make the rest come alive and taste like something real. Little bit of lemon zest on everything I do my best. It's in the small additions that I feel most like myself, most like the day was worth the showing up and staying anyway. Little bit of lemon zest on an ordinary day. You don't need a miracle to make the day turn bright. Just a small, deliberate something that you add. Despite everything that pulls toward gray, an ordinary weight, a little lemon zest can still negotiate. Little bit of lemon, little bit of light, little bit of lemon, turned out alright.
Got it in my back pocket. Everything I need, close and low. Got it in my back pocket. Wherever I go, don't need to show it, don't need to explain. Got it in my back pocket. Simple and plain. I don't carry more than what I need these days. Trim the excess back about 100 ways. What's essential fits inside a back pocket now. Learned that lesson slowly, but I learned it somehow. We used to overload the bag with what ifs and maybes, all the possibilities and all their babies. Now I keep the things that matter close and light, just enough to get through any given night. The jazz guitar is telling me to stay relaxed. Keep the rhythm going, keep the feeling stacked. Not too much, not too little, just a pocket groove. That's the frequency I'm trying to move. Everything I need, I got it on me. Not on the table, not across the sea. Back pocket living, that's the code I keep. Everything essential, everything complete. But people ask me how I seem so unbothered, like the way the things just pass me by. I say I stopped collecting what I couldn't carry, started asking what I actually need to get by. Couple of good people in the record collection, something warm to drink at the end of the run. Back pocket full of the things that really matter, and the music to remind me when I'm done. Guitar came in easy on the second chorus, just enough to say I see you doing fine. Back pocket living doesn't mean you're empty, just means everything you carry was by design. Don't mistake the lightness for the lack of depth. The back pocket holds more than you'd expect. What you keep close reveals more than the excess, and what I keep close, I keep out of respect. Got it in my back pocket. Everything I need, close and low. Got it in my back pocket. Wherever I go, don't need to show it, don't need to explain. Got it in my back pocket. Simple and plain. Back pocket living, back pocket groove. Everything I carry, everything I choose. The things you put in your back pocket say a lot about the life you're actually living and the life you're not. I chose the music and the people and the quiet, and everything that fits in the back pocket riot. Everything else I left behind on purpose, and nothing I left behind has left a hole. Back pocket. right here, the back pocket. Everything clear, back pocket. That's all I need, the back pocket. That's the creed.
The world can wait a minute. Slow your roll. You don't have to sprint it. Everything worth having takes the time it takes. Slow your roll for your own sake. I used to run at everything like everything was leaving. Like the good stuff had a schedule and I miss it. Turns out most of what I rushed to reach was waiting. Patient as a jazz standard someone hasn't played in years. Slow your roll is not about not caring. It's about caring with the right amount of breath. Rushing through the good parts to get somewhere faster means you miss the good parts at the cost of everything else. Brass came in on the offbeat where it wanted, not where I expected, but exactly right. That's the thing about the groove, it finds its own time, and it's better than the timing that I might. I started taking longer routes home on purpose, ordering the meal that takes a little more, choosing conversations over quick conclusions, started living like there's something worth it at the core. Somebody told me that I seemed to relax, like slowing down was somehow falling behind. But behind what exactly? Behind the rush to nowhere, behind the breathless urgency of an anxious mind. Slow your roll and watch how much you notice the things that speed erases from the view. The saxophone between the trumpet phrases, the moment just before the thing comes through. Baseline underneath it all is patient, never in a hurry, never late. That's the kind of ground that I've been practicing, showing up exactly when it's great. Now I take my coffee without rushing, let the morning tell me what it wants to say. Slow your roll became the whole philosophy, and I've been practicing it every day. Slow your roll. The world can wait a minute. Slow your roll. You don't have to sprint it. Everything worth having takes the time it takes. Slow your roll for your own sake. Slow your roll, that's not defeat. Slow your roll, that's being complete. Right here, right now, right at this pace. Slow your roll and find your place. The groove don't hurry and the groove don't stop. It just finds the pocket and it gives it all. That's all I'm trying to do, find the pocket and give everything I have without the rocket. Slow your roll is not a lesser speed, it's the speed at which I find what I actually need. Slow your roll right here. Slow your roll, don't fear. Slow your roll, this is the pace. Slow your roll, this is the pace.
Yeah. Carrying the weight of nothing much today, which sounds light but somehow gets heavy on the way. Nothing in particular pressing at my chest, just the general weight of everything at rest. poured a drink and sat beside the speaker. Let the bass line do the heavy lifting. Sometimes nothing much is all you need to name it. Before the unnamed weight begins its drifting. Jazz knows about the weight of nothing much. It lives inside the rest between the notes. The silence after something's said too clearly. The pause before the melody that floats. I've been naming every feeling like it matters, which it does, but maybe not tonight. Tonight the weight of nothing much is enough to sit beside and hold without a fight. The weight of nothing much is real but light. The weight of nothing much on a nothing kind of night. Not everything needs naming, not everything needs words. Sometimes the weight of nothing much is everything you've heard, and everything you're carrying is just the weight of nothing much. Yeah. Piano came in somewhere underneath the silence, like it knew I didn't need too much just yet. Just a chord or two to keep the air from emptying, just enough to keep the evening from the edge. Nothing much is what I did today, nothing much is what I planned for the week. But nothing much accumulates to something, and something is the language that I speak. By the end of it the room felt different, not lighter, not heavier, just more clear. The weight of nothing much had settled somewhere into something I was glad to have kept near. Brush drums are barely there, but you can feel them, like a heartbeat when you're finally still. The weight of nothing much is almost peaceful when you stop expecting something else to fill. The weight of nothing much, it's real but a lie. The weight of nothing much on a nothing kind of night. Not everything needs naming, not everything needs words. Sometimes the weight of nothing much is everything you've heard, and everything you're carrying is just the weight of nothing much. Maybe I was looking for significance in corners where the ordinary lies without ambition. The weight of nothing much is not a burden, it's an honest, unpretentious kind of vision. Let the bass walk out and let the room go quiet. The weight of nothing much just became nothing at all. Nothing much, just this. Nothing much, just the weight of this. And that's enough, that's enough, that's enough for tonight.
Put my Sunday clothes on, know where I need to be. Put my Sunday clothes on, just for me. Sun coming through the curtains, coffee getting cold. Put my Sunday clothes on, that's enough to hold. Sunday came in quiet like it always does, softer than a Saturday without the buzz. I didn't set an alarm and wasn't mad about it. Woke up when I woke up, didn't think to doubt it. Took my time with breakfast, didn't rush the eggs. Watched the steam rise off the cup between my legs. Picked out something comfortable, nothing fancy worn, just something that felt gentle like a Sunday morn. Music on the record player, something old. Brass section coming in warm against the cold outside. Everybody moving somewhere fast. In here I'm deciding that this moment lasts. Nobody to answer, nobody to call, just the jazz piano echoing down the hall. Sunday has a texture that the other days don't keep, something between waking and the edge of sleep. Opened up the window, let the outside in. Bird landed on the ledge, then flew away again. that was entertainment, that was all I need. Afternoon was rolling in at its own speed. Thought about the week ahead and let it go. Some things only matter when you need them, so Sunday taught me that a long time back. When you're rested, you find what you thought you lacked. Switch the record over to the other side. Let the saxophone come in like a gentle tide. Didn't write a thing today and that was fine. Some days are for being out for every line. Evening showed up slowly like a friend you trust. Not with urgency but with the quiet must. Close the window, made some tea and stayed right there. Sunday in my Sunday clothes without a care. Put my Sunday clothes on, know where I need to be. Put my Sunday clothes on, just for me. Sun coming through the curtains, coffee getting cold. Put my Sunday clothes on, that's enough to hold. Every day can't be a Sunday, I know that's true. Through the week gets you through the parts that feel like Monday.